Even though many people weaponize the Abimbola, this sort of thing, which is very banal and all that, they weaponize it. But the fact of the matter, if you follow his economic policy from 3 or 4 months ago, that 2 years and 4 months or 3 months that he has assumed duty now, he has stayed very faithful. And inflation that appears to be galloping is coming down for the 4th month in a row. It's been a downward trending. And the only missing link is you still have to do a whole lot about agriculture. You know, during President Buhari approached a very basic strategy
to tackle agriculture.
So grow what you eat, and
right.
what to grow.
Right.
And that got to results too.
Right.
But maybe in 2-3 years, Nigeria became #1 producer of rice in all of Africa, overtaking Egypt. But somehow they've not quite continued with that program.
Maybe it wasn't sustainable.
I don't know. Well, I think it's more philosophical or ideological than practical. Well, you know the agric
sector?
Something grower scheme.
Okay, there's something they call it.
Something grower scheme that they were anchor grower scheme.
Okay.
What's anchor grower scheme? I'm a farmer. You are the anchor. You give me some loans. You know, the government gives me some loans, some supplements and some cash to do farming. You are the anchor. You come to me that when you finish, you are free to offload as much of the grains as I was willing to sell. That was the concept. And that concept, you cannot beat it. You know? Because if it works out, that means that whatever I can produce, when I net off what my family will feed up, or the little business I want to do by the sideline, I can put everything to you, buy it at an agreed price. They will put it in the silo, and government will manage the something. It works to a limited extent because you had this rice mills. Rice mills were like I can't remember the something now. They like something like under in the unit like 9 or thereabouts. Rice mills in Nigeria, they are getting to tens like 70, 78 and all that. We have one in Motaye, which is even underfed now. You know, so it works in its own way. But the problem with that they say that it was the central bank, a monetary agency that was administering it, not a fiscal agency like the Ministry of Finance and all its parastatals, with all the banks and all that. So they said it was more of ideological. Of course, there are some abuses which, you know, anything Nigeria, anything by is hyperbolized to make it bad, you know, worse than necessary. Anything good is put down. It's what's the word I want to use now? So that you know see the extent of the goodness. I don't know, we are just wired like that. But the thing is, the fact of the matter, in 3 years, Nigeria went from no contender at all in Africa to #1. So that one was changed. The government have their reasons. But the point I'm making is that if you had a clear-cut agricultural program like that, that you could easily, you could observe and chalk up or chalk down practically, you would be having a very clear view of the agricultural sector. But it became, they diluted, they wanted to do something as amalgam as they are doing for the whole economy. And that's why there was a story that said that Nigerians, they are doing more impetus to support agriculture and all that. I believe that they mean well. I mean, the strength of development progress is that a government improves on what the previous government did. And while the present government finishes its own tour of duty, the next government will improve
exactly
on what itself are done. So if you add that, you have a sort of cumulative contribution that leads to sustainable progress.
But many will say that more like we've gotten to this point, right? Let's say we've gotten to point A, or rather point K, but when another administration comes on board, they take us back to point P.
That's not always true. It's just that you know, the Nigerian media, they love bad news.
They project, you know, certain.
Some will tell you, say, nothing has happened. Abba, how can nothing has happened now for years? Even bees, or not bees, these insects, you know, they
Insects?
Insects, yeah, they work. The insects now.
Bed bugs?
Not bed bugs, the insects like, what's the name of this? What they call Iran in Europe, in Yoruba. They are tiny
Okay,
insects.
I think I know what you're talking about.
You know, they work, they are with gang.
Yeah.
They push.
They go in.
You know, they even the ants.
Yeah.
Ants, for instance, they build ant hills. You know.
They do.
And as small, as tiny as they are, they organize themselves into a workforce, and you can see the result. Those are ants who can squelch
Exactly.
your food without even thinking. How can you now say human beings? They don't know to nobody here.
I think
it's possible hyperbole that we just.
And I think majority don't like think deep, in the sense that they just, you know, run along with what they can see, in particular hunger, food, because that's what pertains to so many people. And when they see that they are lacking in this area, then they just assume that nothing is working.
But do a content analysis of Nigerian newspapers from the First Republic. There's no time you don't cover hunger in the newspaper. I give it to you, go and do it.
There's always a time.
From 1960 till now, front page newspaper is always on. And yet, our population has exploded. We've not had any sustained farming that like we used to have in India, for instance, in the 1970s. You know, we've not had that in Nigeria. The sort of thing we have in Sudan, we've not had that. Nigerian problem is not lack of food. It's just to get the food cheaply to the marketplace. So if you are able to weigh less and think more, you should be thinking of how to make that transition so that farm produce can get to the market and it can be bought at a bargain price to the sustainability of everybody.
Well, I'd like to put you on the spot now. On a scale of 10, how well would you say the administration as, you know, or rather, let me rephrase. On a scale of 10, how well would you say we have grown as a country between from 2023 up till this moment? On a scale of 10.
Let me ask that. On the scale of 10,
yes.
I put it at 6.5.
Why 6.5?
Because the story did not start in 2023.
Of course.
And that was the mistake the regime, the Tinubu people even made when they came in. They were trying to draw the portrait of an Atlas, all powerful.
Yeah.
Who want to just shape everything by this and that. No.
Overnight.
It's not going to have. The thing started from 2015 when Jonathan was voted out. I can go and fact check me like this guy always say on Twitter. Okay, what's his name?
Reno.
I go and fact check me. Economy, everything had collapsed. That's the truth.
From 2015?
2015. And it wasn't as if Jonathan himself was particularly incompetent, even though he was not very competent. He wasn't particularly incompetent. It was just that the system that he inherited was not working. The system had been subverted progressively from under Obasanjo was the subverter in chief of the system. Because he wanted to project himself, you know, as the emperor. And he ended up destroying you know, the democratic institution that would have checked the office of the president. But not for the fact that the military had messed up themselves with the collapse of the June 12 plot The way Obasanjo believe will have left another coup. But because they had overplayed their cards, nobody will say, or what they call when they make their school speeches, maybe countrymen or something, they will just drag them out of the studio. Because it had come to that. That was why Nigeria aired. But faithfully and fortunately, from nothing, the Nigerian system started building.
Started coming together.
Yes. Despite all the abuses of the battle of the other. It's those abuses. Remember, Obasanjo came to Lagos. Did he come to Lagos and he made the ultras at Abuja? Somewhere around 2001. 2 years into the sorting. We're now saying Lagos was a jungle. And he had no apology to anybody. Lagos was a jungle and all that. But that jungle, this Tinubu was governor who was busy building that jungle. Look, I don't know where you were in 1999, but the fact of the matter is you had a mountain of fields, refuse mountains all over the city. That was a fact. Somebody started thinking. Lagos was going to, there was a day we were here, there was a bank robbery over there. Bank around this time. Everybody ran for cover. If somebody tells you about any bank robbery in Lagos, you feel that maybe it's not possible. That wasn't magic. So people sat down, they worked their butts out, and they put policies in place. That was how Lagos started developing. And the Lagos pushed Nigeria too. So real governance, in my opinion, did not start until 2015. Everything had failed. Everybody wanted Buhari to be the magician. It wasn't
the Messiah.
Wasn't one. They were saying that it was what do they call it? Dogara cabal. You know, the Southern media, they like bullying people because they can't get away with it. Dogara cabal and all that. They say it was a caveman. And Tinubu, when Tinubu was called, he said Tinubu was a city boy. He was to come and snap his fingers and solve everything. It's not going to happen. I kept on telling them. I know the president very well. He will work very hard, but it's not a magician.
Right.
And that was what happened. So I just give the government between 6.2 around it for because there's still a lot to be done. They put the blocks. You see the failure or the weakness of the Buhari administration was the monetary aspect of the of the policy. Fiscal, they were doing fine, with the architecture of that day. Because they were faced with people who are still the country blind, and needed to recover the money. And for the first time for the first time in a long time.
Right.
In a long time, you saw solely money being put used to fixing the Lagos-Ibadan expressway. You have loan being taken to do Lagos-Ibadan
expressway.
Lagos-Ibadan Kano, the rail.
Okay, yes.
The modern rail. You had Lagos State doing the blue and the red line. We, by the way, should have been working. Therefore, the sabotage for the PDP government of Obasanjo should have been working much earlier. So, actual governance, in my opinion, started in 2015. And if they have benchmarked that before from the beginning, many of the battles they are fighting now, they will not be fighting it. Because they wanted to play to be emperors, they were antagonized some people who are now fighting them today. But if you had done a sort of linkage, I kept on telling them that, look, Buhari was not the enemy. The enemy are pre-Buhari people who had collapsed everything and are busy marching the new order because they knew that if they succeed, they are going to be very politically. And that's it. But with all of the story we go to, you go today, I give them 6.2, 6.3.
Well, just maybe before 2027, your rating would have gone up.
I don't know.
Just maybe.
It could go down.
It could even come down.
Yeah.
Well, we hope it doesn't.
So far, because really, what they need to do now is to just make food cheaper. If they're able to do that, game over.
Well, speaking of food, there's a story here on Punch here that says FG unveils agric reforms, moves to create 21 million jobs. And from the lead here says the federal government on Tuesday rolled out a slew of new incentives to attract agricultural investments, which it said could create 21 million jobs in the country. It also pledged reforms to expand irrigation, improve access to credit, and create millions of rural jobs under President Bola Tinubu's economic agenda. I mean, we're just talking about agriculture, food, hunger and the likes. And right now we are seeing that, FG is on the move to create 21 million jobs. Your take on this? And I mean, they've been saying this prior to this moment, food, how to make things better for Nigerians. I mean, this is not the first time we would hear something like this. So hearing it again, how does that make you feel as a citizen?
Well, like I said, they are doing a more comprehensive approach to agriculture. That's what I think. If you are talking of 21 million, that's huge.
Do you see that as, do you think they can pull that off?
Well, no, they can't. Because we are talking of value chains. It's not just planting and harvesting alone. You have cottage industries along the chain. And you can create rural jobs, you can create what they call there's the formula that I will use, the first set of industries in Nigeria. When you agri-allied industry, that's the rural. That for instance, you have cocoa, for instance. You want to sell raw cocoa. As much of it, you want to process as much of it as you can locally before you export it. So it fetches you more money with that. So instead of exporting cocoa, you'll be exporting chocolate, you'll be exporting beverages. It might not be to Europe or anywhere, but even if you do it to all the African countries, you're a winner. So if it gets to Europe, it does. The last time I was in Northford, that was how many? That was like 4 weeks ago or so. I saw Nigerian seeing that they imported from Nigeria, foods, processed foods and all that. So that's what we want to see. We even saw gari pupa, not gari goboni. I saw gari pupa, package and all that.
Oh wow.
So that is you process those things and you add value. And when you process them, you are going to get more because you are going to sell, you are going to gain foreign exchange. So that's what we want to be. That's even agric. Livestock. You want to develop a livestock that are the full benefit of the value chain. What do I mean? You have milk, nutrition, and all that. Eyes and skin from the, Then you have the full benefit of mechanized farming. I'm sure they are emphasizing the concept of mechanized farming. That is not new. You go abroad is almost the norm. But here we are still doing this very pristine form of farming like individual and cutlass and nose and all that. So, but then mechanized farming, it has come very late. But there's still no magic. You have to take it gradually. So if they put all of this together, then they are talking of a more organized land, land utilization system. What do I mean? That if you want to farm, there ought to be a registry that will give you that, so that there will be no harassment from anybody. Since the state government control the land anyway, so they are very use their power to positive use to people who want to till the land for positive use to provide food. So that food security, or what the president calls food sovereignty, is the goal. And if you are going to Nigeria, what is the population of Nigeria?
We have 200.
Okay, we don't even know.
I think 200 million.
So what was the target? 12 million?
21 million.
21 million. So what was the percentage of that? Maybe 10%. So it's still very realistic.
Well,
very, very realistic. If you put your mind to it. But that doesn't mean that it's going to come tomorrow.
Exactly.
Okay. And remember, we are talking of a $1 trillion economy by 2031. And 2031 is 6 years away. So everything is in sync. I think it's doable.
Well, let's just be optimistic, because I like to be optimistic. I mean, yeah, being pragmatic. And again, we've had things like this in the past. I mean, government have made different promises. They've pledged different things. They've assured different things. But how many have we seen come to realization and actualization?
Well, that skepticism, I don't want to call it cynicism. That skepticism is founded. It's not unfounded. It's founded because of past. But if you look at from 2015, a lot of things have been happening. A lot of things. You know, this guy is on television and the new Nigeria and all that, you know, that National Electoral Agency.
Okay.
Isa Olindu or something like that. Is the Director General of National Electoral. They've been doing some sort of promo on television, bringing Nigerians to say what they wanted from the system. When they say Nigeria happens to you, Nigeria happens to you is always negative.
That phrase is not a good phrase.
Somebody said Nigeria happened to him in Korea yesterday. What? He lost his wallet. And he regained the wallet without no kobo was stolen. And they didn't even take a kobo from him. He lost his pocket inadvertently. He was in a bus. And at the station, it
fell.
The thing fell, you know. And of course, there are always people there.
Yeah.
Because they just
picked it up.
Picked the thing, kept it for him. So before he even go to the place, they are called the wife. Because all these
as ID card call.
When he go to the door, I think, okay, you could give me 50K, I know that. It was just a joke. They just said, okay, look, this is your pocket. Something like that happened to me too. I went to although that's a private something.
Okay.
This hotel at Radisson Blue.
Oh, okay. Ikeja.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not the original. There are two Radissons there. The real Radisson, the other one is an extension. It used to be a South African hotel that they bought over, but the original Radisson. I went there. I had an appointment and I forgot. I left my iPad in their lobby.
Your iPad?
All my life was there, all the work I've done. I got home, I had to drive back. I said, look, my iPad. They said I should relax. They were asking questions. They wanted to know if I was the original owner of the iPad. So when they were satisfied, they added it over to me. I said, you know what you've done? You recall me to life because I died. Because if that thing, where will I start?
Oh my.
All the things, all my creative permutations were there.
Yeah.
And they handed it back to me. So a lot of things are happening in Nigeria. People want to report the negative because the negative is going to give them political oxygen. Or just maybe the negative is more than the positives. I don't think so. I don't think so. Okay. I don't think so. Again, if the negative is more than the positive, that cannot be a function of the government alone. Of course, I mean, we... It's a function of the individual themselves. Exactly. So figure, if the negatives are more than the positive. Or just maybe if people were more comfortable, they wouldn't think of doing certain things that would harm another person. Look, you cannot excuse crime. Of course you can't. You cannot. You can't. When you say comfortable, what do you mean by comfortable? But we would also agree that people can be, frustrated to the point that they have just no choice because they want to survive. Some will call it surviving survival skills. I mean, but again, a crime is a crime. If you don't want the time, don't do the crime. If you say you are frustrated, be honest, you know that you've done the crime and you married the time. Where our problem is that when you do the crime, you start doing face philosophy that you have frustration. You do it crime because not only you was frustrated. Of course. Many others. Not all of them are doing crime. So what was the excuse? Yes, we got to the point that the government should be responsible for the total welfare of the. I'm not saying that is not valid. I'm just saying that people latch on to all these conveniences to do their own havoc on the society and blame on that. That's fraudulent.
I mean, many look for opportunities to want to, you know, do certain things, and
they justify themselves. So that's
but I mean, this administration by 2027, we might or we might not, you know, get this current administration. But whatever happens, we just want to believe that between now and 2027, the Tinubu administration would have done much more for Nigerians than. I mean, that's what they are there for. Yeah.
So it's not as if, look, the government is not doing anybody any favor. When they do well, we praise them.
Yeah.
You know, the day is almost transactional. You know, they are facing election in 2007, so they are condemned to doing good. They don't do good. You get voted that there's no something other things being equal. So, but if the president can go Lagos from what it was, because Lagos is the Nigerian story, and that's what Fasola was saying.
Yes, I mean,
Lagos is the Nigerian story from 1999. If development in Lagos have been replicated all over the country, Nigeria will be a different place.
Even just on today's paper, someone who said Lagos critical to Nigeria's world power dream.
Absolutely. He was even looking at the catalogue of achievement. He forgot the Lagos blue and red line. There is no metropolis in West Africa today that has an urban train. None. Go and fast check me as a reason. None. Then again, that wasn't happenstance. The governor in the Tinubu started Lamata 2003.
That's a
long time ago. That is strutting all these achievements. Put it down. Do you know that before Lagos you have Belekaja on Lagos Road? Do you even know what they call Belekaja? Belekaja, there's ancient form of public transportation. Literally, come down, let us fight. It's so chaotic. When they banded these people into cooperatives, and they have these red and blue buses.
Okay.
That was the first one. That was Lamata. That was the starting point. All those owners, and they bumped them to a cooperative, invested some funding, and both buses were there, and they were paying back the government. And the government was running the blue line, the BRT. That was the start. It still has not phased out the downfall and all that. But with time, when this the train penetrates, they are going to have seven rail lines. They are already doing green line now from Lekki to CMA. From red line is from Agbado to Igbo to join the National Theatre to Marina. This one is from Marina to it's going to go to Kumaiko, maybe by next year.
I mean, Lagos is doing amazing.
By the time they bring the brown line coming from Redeem Camp to Ojo, all these atomic players, diamond players, the blue market, they'll be constrained to the inner streets. So if this, and this is within 1999 to 2005, 26, 25 years.
About 1999, that's 26 years, yeah. That's 26 years.
And so Lagos is the story of Second Republic Nigeria. There's no doubt about it. And the other states are contributing their. I mean, if you saw what this guy did at Abeokuta to Philadelphia, I call him Philadelphia because of his big filler. Amosu, he transformed Abeokuta from a rural village, to a modern contemporary, and his infrastructure there now. You don't need to do much about it now in the next 30 years. It's taken care of. That's a product of. That's not even from that. That was from 2023 to 2011. And now building. So a lot of things are happening. But people just want to report the negative because they want to feel it. It's lack of idea.
I mean, they say bad news travels faster than the positive.
Except that it harms people's image. It kills your morale.
Yeah, it does.
And it discourages people who are doing everything to put everything on so
it does.
It's very, what do they call it? What is this word for it? When something is wicked, I can't remember the adjective.
Disheartening, strange. But when like an average person will say, just continue to pray for your country, continue to pray for Nigeria, and
pray
just
and work out too.
Exactly, and just because I mean, the country is your country. Even if you leave, travel out, it's still your country.
Some people are complaining that Nigeria, they say Trump, Trump came to dump them in Ghana. I don't know why Ghana will to that sort of rubbish. And I tell them, who even wants to go to America? I mean, Olusegun said what they say is not going to, because they feel that their president is a modern American version of Idi Amin. And that's my president of America. Who the hell wants to go to that wild country now? So stay in your country and fix it. People are, this UK we are talking about, they are 7th century now. America will be 250 years next year. They've been building progressively. And yeah, you have a, I don't want to use on flattering something. You have a parody like Trump, come president, where America will be 250 years next year. So there's a build-up. So don't let me too hard on us. Yes, the government should sit tight, but you should encourage them.
Well, I just want to just implore everyone. I mean, there's nothing we can say other than just speak more positives of the administration and also of our country, because in as much as things are going south, things are also going the right way. We cannot complain. And when things are being done right, we would not want to just neglect them. I mean, that's their duty to do. I mean, it's everybody's duty to do.
And gratitude, there's a spiritual common power for ingratitude.
Yeah.
If God does something to you, God is all forgiving. I know that He will not take vengeance. There's always karma. In Paradise Lost, there was this debate that one of the antagonists, or is the antagonist or protagonist now, was saying that if God was so powerful, that why did He allow Adam to fall, since He could control the will of Adam? The man said, okay, God has given you a free will, but there's a condition. Whatever you do, there are always consequences. So, ingratitude comes with dire consequences. Because when somebody does well, you feel you did not see it, and it does a little something, you are fighting, you are jumping at the right of the way. The same is on you, because you will never have that sort of succor an ordinary person has. That peace, that bliss, that beatitude, you never have it. And that's the consequence of ingratitude.
I mean, you said it all, and as citizens, we should also, pray for those in power, because if we don't pray for them, whatever we see, that's what we, or rather, whatever they do is what we see, and that's what we get. We can't do anything other than talk. And the best is just to, wish them well and also pray for them to, lead us right. And with that, we've come to the end of the program today. A very big thank you to my guest and analyst, Mr. Abimbola. Thank you so much for coming to the show today.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you for listening to the program Beyond the News here on The Nation Online TV. Till we come your way again, I remain Yewande Fasan. Have an amazing day. Bye for now.